I never wanted to share my story because to me it seemed cliche. You know, the typical inner city black girl tale. Single mother, product of a single mother, absent father, self-medicating to cope from his own terrible traumas. You get the drift. I'm going to tell the story though for another little black girl who may find the benefit. I've always thought of myself as a being, not a girl, not black, not poor, or any of the other labels people like to apply on site. Being gifted with a strong mind and a mother and grandmother that encourage freedom of expression, I often find myself in sticky situations. My audacity was the problem. Not mine, but theirs. I tried to write a little bit, but if you know me, you know that I like to speak off the cuff. I tried to do things the right way. Grow up in church, marry the guy I had a baby to, go to college, get multiple degrees, work on my master's. But I found myself always at the bottom. I wasn't able to make it into the space that I thought I would be considered success. In 2012, 5 classes away from completing my Master's in Public Administration, I was robbed. Again, I'm a single mother, and I was trying to figure out how do I continue to pay for grad school and also pay for all these expenses that I have going on. And so I came up with a plan that may not have been the wisest decision, but for that, I was arrested in February 2012 and charged with a Class 1 and a Class X felony in Chicago, Illinois. And I was facing 6 to 30 years of prison time for possession, distribution, and manufacturing of marijuana, cannabis. And because of this, I'm obviously blessed not to be in jail for 6 to 30 years. But because of this, basically everything I worked for academically was no longer valuable. You know, I haven't been able to use those degrees because, you know, I'm a felon. I was blessed enough to find a job in corporate America at a black female-owned investment firm. They found faith in me, and they gave me a probationary period to show that I had integrity, and I was hired on. But as I was working there, I realized that I could no longer work in corporate America. I felt my body dying as I sat there day in and day out, and I was basically, as Terrence Howard put it, walking on water for tips. And I couldn't do it anymore. Like, I was dying. Like, I tried a vegan diet, but I gained 40 pounds. So I wasn't doing things the right way. The sedentary lifestyle was killing me. I was not spending time with my son like I wanted to. So I ended up, you know, walking away from that, walking away from raises, walking away from professional organizations. And I traveled the country, drove across the country, and I traveled the world. And we ended up leaving the States for a few years. So, we had spent about 2.5 years living in Belize. I gave birth to my baby girl, Freedom, my middle child. In the mountains of Belize is a home birth, water birth, right there in Cristo Rey, Cayo District of Belize. Shout out to my Belizean friends and the other expats that live down there. I came back to the States in December of 2018, that'll be. So I've been back here for almost a year now. And I've really been trying to pull myself together and figure out how I can find a path to sustainability. I said I'm really, really passionate about women. I'm really passionate about incarcerated people. I've always wanted to do a prison ministry. My grandmother did a prison ministry when I was younger, you know, and she died in 2016 while I was in Belize. And before we went to Belize, I was taking care of her along with my mother and some other family members. And she had Alzheimer's, and that was really, really hard to take care of somebody that had Alzheimer's, watching her, a magnificent woman, and basically being unrecognizable in mind and spirit. But she always recognized me, and she treated me different than anybody else that she encountered. She always recognized me, always showed me love, was never aggressive to me until the moment she could no longer function. So I digress. So I'm back in the States, and I said I want to work in fitness, and I also want to work for incarcerated women. What can I do? I was approached by an organization, a company, Fit to Navigate. They're actually a prison fitness ministry. They actually help women that are incarcerated find a path through entrepreneurship through the wellness industry, and they certify women, nationally certified as fitness trainers. And I was blessed to be their first fellow and go through the program and be certified. I'm also a master herbalist, and I'm very thankful for all of those opportunities. So that's where I am right now. We're launching our virtual fitness platform, and I'm going to be training 3 mothers starting this week. Actually, we're going to be doing it for free for 3 mothers, and we're going to work with them with their nutrition. We're going to work with their mindsets. We're going to work with their physical activity and everything, and we're really just going to help establish a blueprint to where people who are formerly incarcerated can find paths to entrepreneurship and financial sustainability for themselves and their families, while also concentrating on wellness. And I'm so grateful for it. We've been receiving grants, and we're constantly applying for grants. And right now we have some big things in the works. We just were awarded a major grant in the running for a major grant. So keep your fingers crossed for us, because we might be millionaires within the next few years. If we keep this going. And I'm so grateful for faith. I'm so grateful for family. I'm so grateful for everyone who's encouraged me. But I want to say is one thing that I've noticed. Even though I've always considered myself a being, as I didn't really think that those labels mattered to me, of being a super brown toned, of having a portal between my legs, but you realize the society, when they see you, when you're not a man, when you're not super fair skinned, when you're not wealthy, or when your hair is not super straight, with each of those levels, they diminish what they consider your credibility, or how serious they perceive your information to be, or how smart they think that you could be, or what your potential in life should be, or what goals you should have for yourself. And one thing that I want to say is no matter what somebody thinks about you, no matter what somebody labels you, you know that you're a sentient being. You know that you are divine. You know that you came here for a purpose. You have a path, and it's yours, and nobody else can walk your path but you. And I'm in that path right now, and I'm going to stay the course. I'm going to stay in alignment, and I continue to take myself seriously. People that take themselves seriously as people of color will take you seriously. When people don't take you seriously as people of color specifically, know that that's not a problem that they have with you. It's a problem that they have with themselves. Sometimes we run the white supremacy constructs on autopilot, and we don't even understand that we can be that way ourselves. But it can happen. So stay woke to our own inadequacies, and stay woke to society, and just try to do what we can to make this world a better place. And I'm gonna go now. That's been my time, and thank you so much for listening. Love y'all. Thank you, Miss Goddess Body. Thank you, Fit to Navigate. I'm going to tag Oprah here, because that's how I was instructed. And peace. Oh, shout out to my children, John, Freedom, and Love. I love y'all. Y'all my life. I do everything just for y'all.